took you to my bosom, fed you my oil. And even when you took and wasted and left me drained, there was always enough for you in my soil. Even when my older children, they tried to shame me, setting no rules for the younger ones, bringing such grief and sadness into my household. In the end, they're still my daughters and sons. I will always be there for you. No matter what you do, whatever joy or pain that you are going through, I will always be there for you. I will be always there for you.
Good evening and welcome to Calypso Showcase. I'll always be there for you, the tune sung by Melanie Hudson, and she is our special guest on Calypso Showcase tonight. Melanie, welcome.
Thank you very much. I don't believe I have not seen that video in a million years.
But this is what we do to people on Showcase.
Yes, I was shocked as well as everybody else, I suppose.
Well, we, as usual, want to talk about your Calypso career, but let's look at what has happened since Carnival this year. What has it meant for you? What doors have opened to you, and what opportunities for travel?
Well, Jambi Party was an even larger success than we anticipated. So therefore, because of that song, I should start from the beginning. So because of my performance at the Soca Monarch competition, I was approached by some people from Barbados to sing in a tent there. I don't think there is any other Trinidad artist who does that. I don't know if they do. Usually they go for the crop over festival itself on those days, but I was invited to sing in a tent. So every weekend I was on a plane back and forth from Barbados to Trinidad, going and singing in a tent. The tent atmosphere there is very, very different to ours. Where they have a smaller number of Calypsonians, and the Calypsonians come back in the two halves.
Like we used to do in 25 years ago.
I would not know about that. That 25 years ago was a little before my time. So it's a little different. Now we have, in Trinidad, we have 30-something Calypsonians, and everybody goes on and sings one song, and that's it. They go in one half and come back in the next half. And then I was invited by Titco to be a host at the Mid-Em celebration. That was held in Miami. So I traveled to Miami with the contingent from Trinidad and Tobago that went to perform, and I was the host on the opening night that happened at Vizcaya Gardens, and that was very nice. I suppose being there in a whole new atmosphere as a host instead of an entertainer. But I did get a chance to perform in the following night at Club Cameo, which was more of a relaxed setting. It wasn't as stringent as the first night. And from then, I got some people who spoke to me about stuff that had to do with possibilities, yes. Mickey Mouse, yes. Well, who knows what will happen because of that. And then after that, Jambi Party again offered me the opportunity to go to Germany with a contingent from Trinidad as well to sing in the Festival of Traditional Music.
We haven't heard much about the results of that visit. Can you quickly tell us who were some of the artists on that visit and what was the reaction?
Okay, we went to Germany with Brother Resistance, Lady Wonder, David Barrow, Kurt Allen, as well as the band Caribbean Rage. And the response was totally out of this world, because I don't think that the festival expected what we went there and presented. Usually, the other contingents, we went to see, I think it was the Dominican Republic, and their presentation was more like a Malik folk performers type of presentation. It was that kind
of... A better village.
Yeah, exactly, because Malik, I mean, would have even given a glitzier performance up there. And then we went now with our traditional Calypso. David Barrow sang Spoiler, Tiller de Han, and Lady Wonder was superb in her presentation. Of course, Kurt Allen and Caribbean Rage, they gave the
soca touch.
The soca touch, and then Brother Resistance with the rapso, and then I also had social commentary and Calypso as well, and soca as well. So and it was so tight. The package that we went up there with was so concise and so well put together and so professionally done. There were no lapses. I remember the other contingents, they were performing, and it was so homey and so sort of village-ish that they were changing guitar strings on the stage. You know, but we didn't have that in our contingent. And the people in Germany were so impressed by it, the people who hold the festival, that they actually they wanted to change their view of the entire festival and now have it where the countries that they invited would put forward presentations like the one that we did. So we initiated a change, and that was very, very good, and they were also very impressed.
Beside your traveling, have you done many local shows after Carnival?
Quite a few, quite a few. I got the opportunity to perform with Baron, and a Baron in concert that happened at Mass Camp, and also with David Rudder down at the Anchorage, and that was also, that was fun. Because, you know, well, I love David Rudder.
Well, we're going to get a chance to look at your Calypso career, and you've been singing from, what, age 8? So yes, there's a lot to see. When we take a commercial break and come back, Melanie Hudson, Calypso career.
At home, in my living room, and make my mother record me over and over and over and over. And I used to sing the song, dream of me when you're lonely, dream of me when you're sad. And she used to have to sit there tirelessly recording that song over and over and over again. When I was 8 years old, though, my primary school Standard 3 teacher, I think it was, she wrote, well, no, she wasn't really my Standard 3 teacher. She was one of the teachers in the school, and she wrote my very first Calypso for me, and entered me into the Junior Calypso Monarch competition. And we used to have to go to City Hall and sit down there for the entire day, and you go and you pull your number, and you'd sing something like 126. That would be sometime in the evening, or you might have to stay there all day and go back the next day. And from then, I really, really knew that I really wanted to sing Calypso. And it wasn't to sing soca, it wasn't to sing, you know, party, it was to sing Calypso. You know, the kind of Calypso where you stand up and you point and you walk to the side and you point, and I really knew that I wanted to do that.
Well, I remember you because I used to judge youth Calypso in those days.
Yeah.
And that's when right. I first saw you perform. Can you sort of recap what your performance is at junior level and some of the successes you may have had?
Okay, well, I don't think I've ever won. As a matter of fact, I know I've never won Junior Calypso Monarch competition. As a matter of fact, I've won the Junior Calypso Queen competition that's put on by the youth arm of the National Cultural Action Committee. And I've won that in 1986 and in 1987 and again in 1989. That's right, I think it's something like that. All of a sudden everything seems to get blurred because now I've had all these successes this year, and you know, all the things like the Junior Calypso competition, they just seem so far away now, even though I'm still young.
Can you recall any tune that you did in those days?
I remember Granny's Nostalgia, and that was nice. That had a chorus that used to go, those days will never come back again. Granny said, those days will never come back again. Big young men, they're wearing short pants, man wearing jacket to go to dance. Nobody leaving home after 6. 18 years old, you're still getting licks. Mothers breastfeeding kids till they're 5. That is why Granny is still alive. When I look at Granny and she rocking chair, she had a real good time, she don't care. Those days will never come back again. And that was quite in 1987, and I cannot believe I remember the entire chorus. And I remember I had another teacher from another primary school, and she came on dressed as Granny, and she sat and with her powdered wig, and we danced across the stage at the end, and that was lovely. That was really, really
That's the
nice.
one that stands out in your mind?
It stands out in my mind because of the performance, because I had a prop. It was the first time that I ever performed on stage with another person in terms of a prop. But there was another one that stands out in my mind. It was in 1989 where I sang Cry My Beloved Country, which was really and truly, and I don't think Trinidad and Tobago knows this, the very first song David Rudder wrote for me. The first song that David Rudder wrote for me was not I'll Always Be There For You. It was the year before, in 1989, Cry My Beloved Country. And it's the most amazing. It's
And
really nice.
That year you won the NJAC Junior.
Yes, I won it. I won it again, and they handed me a trophy and told me it's time for you to move on. You've won it 3 times, and maybe you should try entering a competition at a higher stage. And I had never really thought about it because all these years I had gone on thinking that I would sing junior, even though the people that I started singing Calypso with, Machel Montano and Natasha Wilson, they all went on into senior competition. But I never thought, I suppose, as I was going to school, I just thought that my level was junior, and I just sang Calypso comfortably at junior level.
The sky so concerning Twin Island, Trinbago. A history of unrest and slavery, as you know. Change hands plenty, settled down nicely. Became a republic up to this day. Not all the world know about we yet. Don't we sing the Calypso and produce sweet, sweet pan? Is a real shame. Some still don't know where we is, and others just really don't give a damn.
I Will Always Be There For You. How did that come about?
That song came about. It just came. It just happened. There's no real story. David Rudder met me the first time, and I don't think he'd even remember. I was just one of his screaming fans, running him down in the Queen's Park Savannah to get an autograph. And then finally, when I caught up with him, I had no pen and no paper. And he took out $1 and he autographed that for me, which I still have. And then after that, in one of the colleges, I went and I sang in a concert, and I sang a song. It was after he sang The Hammer, and the name of my Calypso was Praising the Hammer, which was also written by Mrs. Carrington, who started me in this whole Calypso thing. And he was also appearing at that little concert, and I asked him if he would just stand backstage and wait until I called him on. And he was such a good sport, and he stayed there. And in my last verse of the Calypso, when I was singing, so thank you, King David, man, I thank you for your open young people eyes. When they cry, yes, they cry, cause you never miss the water till the well run dry. And that was all about Spree Simon as well, and all about the hammer, and how King David came and he taught everybody about, this man. And I brought him on and tried to raise his hand, and of course, me being at the height that was somewhere around his waist level, the hand never really went up, but I think he remembered that. And then again, I think in 1990, we met each other at a function, and he looked at me at the function and he just said, you know what, it's time. And I said, it's time for what? And I was still his adoring fan and still remain his adoring fan up to today. And he said, it's time. And then he told me that I should go and meet Mr. Artie Mirez at this place. And I went and I met Mr. Artie Mirez. And as they say, the rest is history.
Everybody always call me a blessed mother. Mama Trini, God must love you, they'd say. Hello, high water, I would just rise and embrace you, protecting my children in every way. Even when you fight and argue about different fathers, remember, the middle passage brought them straight to my door. Mama never worry about no race, I just love them. And so my blood is boiled when you start to walk. I will always be there for you. No matter what you do, whatever joy or pain that you are going through, I will always be there for you. I will be always there for you. if you really want to make your old lady happy, if you really want to fill me with joy, all you got to do is start looking out for each other. I mean, man and woman check for the girls and boys. To those of you who sow your seeds and then run like crazy, I want to see you turn and commit your heart. And those of you who choose to lead all the rest, do your duty. Foolishness will only tear us apart. And I will always be there for you. No matter what you do, whatever joy or pain that you are going through, I will always be there for you. I will be always there for you. I will always be there for you. No matter what you do, whatever joy or pain that you are going through, I will always be there for you.
The times that you make me smile, I will still always be there for you. So that song just meant, it just meant everything to everybody. And it came at the right time too, coming right after the 1990 coup, where there was just so many things going wrong, it seemed, in Trinidad and Tobago. And the song wasn't to me, and I still try to understand it, it wasn't a dynamic song to say that there were horns blaring and drums rolling. It was simple. And I think that was the essence of this song for everyone, at least for me, that it was so simple in a time when Trinidad and Tobago had become so complicated, politically, economically, and otherwise. And there were just so many things going wrong, or seeming to go wrong. And then this very simple song that said an emotion, an emotion that was just so simple that maybe people had not told each other in a long time, and it just flew.
Now, your career from there, because you spent the year in Kitch's tent, and that was good for you. But then we heard that you were contracted by the Amar. Can you recount that experience?
That experience, I think it was just one of that. It was just another experience. Because the second year, in 1992, I did record with Amar, and but I still sang at Kitchener's Calypso Review. And then by that time, I had gone into Ecstatic and had recorded with them as well. So it was just another recording contract, another part where I went there and I made an album. In 1992, I made an entire album with great, great songs, songs written by Anselm Douglas, and beautiful, beautiful, well put together. But it was hard to live after I'll Always Be There For You, because I'll Always Be There For You was just, it was so larger than life.
I will be always there for you.
What was it like performing on stage with Ecstatic?
It was, and I must say this, the most exciting part of I wouldn't say the most exciting part of my entertainment career, but it was really, really exciting. It was energetic, it was alive. Everybody now has just focused on Ecstatic. You know, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, on the tips of everybody's tongues is, you know, the word Ecstatic and the band and Machel Montano and the big truck and the music farm. But he was always the very same way. He's not doing anything different now than he did 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago when I was with the band. He was always genius. It was almost a genius level when it came to his music, and his energy level was way past the stars. And he encouraged that from the band. When we were there, you know, there was never a moment on stage when we would stand up. There was never a time when we wouldn't be smiling. You know, he always encouraged that perpetual energy, that you know, it was almost like a frenzy, but a controlled frenzy. It was totally, totally exciting.
What did What did performing on stage do for you and your career?
It made me brave. Because I always liked to be on a stage, but as I told you, I always felt that I would sing Calypso. I would sing that kind of Calypso. And then I was exposed to being able to do a fast song. And I still, the thing about it, but it was sort of, you know, it was protected, because even though it made me brave, it was still 11 other people on the stage with you. So, you know, you were able to do all these fast songs and jump up and get on and wave, and it gave me a lot of stamina as well. But it made me brave in terms of doing that kind of music. But it was still a little protected, where I could always look to my side and see Wayne, or look to another side and see Machel there for support, you know. So, but it was good in terms of getting that energy and being able to sing the fast song and sing the soca, and that's what I think. That's what I gained the most from being in Ecstatic.
However, between I Will Always Be There For You and say 1996, there seemed to have been a kind of a low-key Melanie Hudson. Can you explain what happened between that period and how your career started to pick back up?
Well, I don't know. I didn't deliberately become low-key. I performed in 1992 with Kitchener's Review, but that was too soon after I'll Always Be There For You. Then I joined Ecstatic, and I think it literally shattered people's views of me. Because there I was in 1991, this demure little teenager, you know. And even though in 1992 I was still a teenager, I was prancing up and down the stage in little clothes and, you know, and whining and getting on and having a really good time. And people were shocked. They were literally shocked.
What happened in 1996 to get you back on track with your career?
Okay, I formed a new affiliation in terms of my management and in terms of my production. I was invited to be, well, by you, a part of a compilation of music. And that is when, well, the year before in 1995, you must understand this, I just decided not to sing. Because I had recorded with Kiskadi in 1994. And we did soca music, and it didn't gel. It wasn't me. It was just something that was done as a function of being with the label. And there was a Kiskadi Kaiso caravan at the time, and everybody was doing all this funky hip music, and I was supposed to be one of those, and it just did not work. And in 1995, I decided that I just I wouldn't sing. And you know, I stayed that year very quiet and very uncomfortable. And then I joined up and went in and sang a song. I sang 2 songs, but this song is the most important one. The name of the song was Jambi, and it was written by Rudy Wells. And that song, it didn't do a lot for me in terms of publicity, in terms of the public, but it did a lot for me in terms of getting back into the Calypso arena. And when I say that, I mean with the other Calypsonians. Because when arrangers, other people, I remember Pelham Goddard at the launch, he had heard this song before, and he said there was no way that she could sing that song from beginning to end. And he was sure that when we were recording it, that we had taken this part of the song and then stopped, and because it was such a difficult piece. And when I went on the stage and I sang the song from beginning to end, he was nothing short of amazed.
Jumpy mumbling, jumpy grumbling, jumpy tumbling, the savannah breaking down. Thunder, tremor, then pan jumpy fighting for space. Just hear the bass. They mesmerize you and hypnotize you. Lines descending with sweet harmony. Watch out, they carry, hear them rap, and she see them woman play. Make the grants and tear apart. When the sweet pan starts, jamming like they're going crazy. Come see pan jumpy exciting me. Then pan in the savannah is murder, fire. Look at the bands from up east. Pan men like they turning beasts. Water to cool down the burning from the tenors and the bass bands. Endless friction, panorama music so exciting. Sweet pan, woman and man get high when they jam in pan with tempo. For so Look at me purple logo, they don't know. Things are easy as they look, man, but it's so much hard work. Jambi, and make him joke. So many panya facing life so hard, pan men getting mad, frustration taking over. Jam them, tenors, hardship sometimes that is the case. Just hear the bass. Arranger grinding, tenor man whining, the guitar man strum at different beats. So the arranger put in some fire and tell the guitar, when you get a C minor, you should strum harder. Try and keep a brilliant tempo. Play, neat, pan, Jambi, your music sweet. When you play Calypso, remember, jam it. Look at the bands from down west. Two people always say they have the best. Pianists who could execute any line they arrange or give them. Panel to play when they start to jump for panorama. Watch them caliber day. Westmen really could play band. Remember, Pana, how they maneuver in the savannah. If you think that ain't easy, you should take this tip from me. West Panel is real Jambi. Look at Jambi day, Jambi crumbling, but I see the devil whining in a steel van. Look at Jambi day.
That was the difficulty of the song.
I want to talk about the other tune that you sang that year, the Spirit of Calypso, because that is the tent that sort of got you back into Kitchener's tent. That's the tune that you sang night after night, in fact, opening the tent most nights. Talk about Spirit of Calypso.
Spirit of Calypso. Spirit of Calypso was all about the mechanics of writing a calypso, which was a little bit of a contradiction, because the mechanics of writing a calypso is not, in fact, the spirit of Calypso. So I went, and my entire image was that of a school teacher with glasses and pointer, and every night I went on stage and I told people, this is how you write a calypso. This is how you put together lyrics and melodies and harmonies and syncopation, and all these wonderful words were used in it.
What is the spirit of Calypso? Ask a lot of people, they really don't know. Songs in the making, history we telling. Sometimes you just even find it very confusing. Relax yourself and let me impart what I think is happening to this art. Some people just singing words without taste. For Calypso, what they don't know, it just make you want to shake your waist. Verse and even prose must be exciting, and your message challenging and interesting. Rhyming in context, you must keep the swing, and always have your music syncopating, then have variation on melody, and the right prescription for using harmony. Mix it with culture, then add some tempo. That is the spirit of Calypso.
But there was something that wasn't quite the essence of Calypso. And from then, from that whole experience and from that whole Calypso was actually spawned my Calypso, which I sang this year.
This foreign lady researching Calypso in my land of Trinidad and Tobago. The shock when she attended a jam session. Don't get so bastardized in this land. She hear reggae, soul and dub in the function, and singing country and western. The film music was on the go, and up to now, not one true Calypso, Calypso. Why the hell man the street you so? Calypso, Lord. one set up a fish show. For crawler, tiger, teller, turning in the grave. For the potholes you take in the Calypso highway that they pave. My Calypso, Lord. Tie up and throw overboard. My Calypso. In the water sinking slow.
Which was supposed to be Spirit of Calypso. It meant, my Calypso was all about the essence, was all about the history. The one I sang, my Calypso, that's what I sang this year.
Can you relate maybe how you got into the lyrical content of that Calypso and what it has done for you as an artist performing Calypso?
It has made me finally know. Because you know, I mean, I know history up to maybe 1980s, right? And I know of fellas like Spoiler, and I know of fellas like Attila the Hun, but I never really pretended to know. And you know that Calypso came, you know, with the Africans and that there were all these fusions. You know all these things, but just like miscellaneous information. It's not something that has a focus. It's not something that is actually solid. And my Calypso, what it did for me this year was actually allow me to learn. It gave me a solid history of Calypso.
Calypso rooted start with calendar. Chanting and drumming linked to Africa. Call and response in the key minor. African and French mixed up to give patois. With post and drum, shock shaking with banja. The chant will sing Congo Barra. Fix up the police and calculate so that we could say Calypso today, Calypso. By the hell man, the street your soul. Just one set up happy show. For prosecutor invader turning in their grave. For the bottles you drink in the Calypso highway that they pave. My Calypso, Lord. To lose you we cannot afford. My Calypso. Oh, how I love my Calypso, Calypso, my Calypso.
And it helped me put across something that I've been trying to say for quite a long while, because we've been having all these arguments and all these talks about ring bang and raga soca and bengi and all these things. And there are 4 lines in the Calypso that mean a whole lot to me when it says, a rose by some other name may smell the same. So ring bang and bengi is just the name for the true art form that I do know as the one and only Calypso.
A rose by some other name may smell the same. So ring bang and bengi is just a name for the true art form that I do know as the one and only Calypso, Calypso.
Share the story then of jamming in the party with us.
It had to come. Jamming in the Party is a song that I begged not to sing. I must say this. Because Jamming in the Party wasn't originally Jamming in the Party. Jamming in the Party was a song called Lovers in the Party, which was supposed to be a love song. Now, not that I have anything against love songs, but there was one particular line I remember. There were other lines like this, but there was this one particular line that struck me, and it said, "Tonight I want you to make me feel like a woman." And I looked at it and I went, what? Are you kidding? You're talking to a lady of the 90s here. Tonight I want you to make me feel like a woman. No. I said, I cannot sing these lines. And I remember begging, but then changes occurred. And the song evolved from being lovers in the party to being a total break loose kind of song, because the sentiments of the song actually changed. It didn't say, the original song said, hold me, you know, take me in your arms, squeeze me, that kind of thing. And then Jamming in the Party now said something totally different.
Moment you mention party, you could see I done ready tonight. I'm feeling sublime. I don't want to celebrate. Hurry up, boy, it's getting late. Come, let me go and have a good time. What's the night? I'm really feeling the wine, wine, wine. Tonight, I'm really feeling the shake from behind. Tonight, I don't want you to hold me. Tonight, I want to free my body. Let me jump and wine, bump and grind, shake my waist and mash on the place. Tonight, you and me, to a sweet soca melody. Jam, 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 jamming in the party. Jam, 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 jamming in the party.
Let's go to a party, but I want to be able to break loose. I want to be able to dance by myself. I want to be able to wail and have a good time and not have you hold it. The line says, tonight I don't want you to hold me, and it was exactly about that.
You're watching like if it's not me, cause all year I'm hoity-toity. Tonight, it's a different case. I know people gonna say I'm mad, cause I'm planning to get on bad. No time to waste, look, Mr. Make haste. Cause tonight, I'm really feeling the wine, wine, wine. Tonight, I'm really feeling to shake up me behind. Tonight, I don't want you to hold me. Tonight, I want to free my body. Let me jump and wine, bump and grind, shake my waist and mash on the place. Tonight, you and me, to a sweet soca melody. Jam, 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 jamming in the party. Jam, 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 jamming in the party.
Then I saw what took place with Jamming in the Party, and I saw how many women felt the way that the lyrics of Jamming in the Party portrayed. There were a lot of women that when I sang it at the tent, which was the first time that I sang a party song or a song that was up-tempo in a tent setting to a sit-down audience, which was to me a breakthrough because I was never able to do that. And I would sing the song, and I would see women sitting in the audience and shaking their heads like this, you know, saying, you know, that is exactly the way that I felt. And for the first time, since I'll Always Be There For You, I sang a song that everybody put their own meaning to.
So what's been your high point?
I think that was it. I think that Skinner part had to be it.
Jam, 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 jamming in the party. Jam, 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 jamming in the party. But yeah, everybody jump, 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 jump in the party. Everybody wine, 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 wine in the party. Everybody jam, 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 jam in the party. Oh God!
Welcome back live. You're viewing Calypso Showcase. Our special guest tonight is Melanie Hudson, looking at her life and just laughing, smiling. No crying as yet.
No, you know, when I saw the thing with their heart, I could have shed a few tears.
Well, there was a special project that you had after Carnival. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, I worked with Kurt Allen. We recorded it by Beaver, and it was a song called Get Up. The background vocals was done by the Signal Hill Alumni Choir along with the Signal Lights, which is the junior arm of the alumni choir, and it was commissioned by the
John Arnold.
Yes, that's right, from Tobago. And the song was commissioned by the Inter-American Development Bank. They wanted to do something basically for the youth of Trinidad and Tobago, and they wanted a project. The entire project was really handled, or should I say, it was presented by young people, because they wanted young people to sing this song. So therefore they got Kurt Allen and myself, and the video itself, we did a video as well, and there were a lot of young people in that video as well. So, and Get Up was born.
Well, I think we should give the audience the benefit of seeing this video in its entirety. I think it has a message for the youth of the nation. Here is Get Up, sung by Melanie Hudson and Kurt Allen.
You may be young, but you are gifted. There's no reason to be passive. So shake off all your inhibitions and embark on a brand new mission.
Whoa, whoa, don't wait for someone else who must tell you what you have to do. When you have the intelligence to step up and make a difference, I tell you,
Get up and play your number. Wake up from your deep slumber. It's time to use your talent and change this life of torment. The sun will shine much brighter. Your load will feel much lighter. We need your contribution to help to build this great nation.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Get up, don't sit on the fence. Get up and make a difference. Get up, you have the power. Get up and chart your future. Get up,
ooh, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
pressure from your peers at school and play. Violence is rampant today. Moral decay from elders you trust.
The ones you trust.
What to do, life seems so unjust.
You got to make up your mind to stand up and stomach the grind. You alone can fashion your life in a world of struggles and strife. I tell you,
Get up and play your number. Wake up from your deep slumber. It's time to use your talent and change this life of torment. The sun will shine much brighter. Your load will feel much lighter. We need your contribution to help to build this great nation.
ooh,
Get up, don't sit on the fence. Get up and make a difference. Get up, you have the power. Get up and chart your future. Get up. Get up. We want no racial discrimination. We are going to shake up this nation. So let us show the powers that be how to coexist peacefully. For the future we hold the key and the responsibility. So we must prepare ourselves and come down from over the shelf. I tell you, get up and play your number. Wake up from your deep slumber. It's time to use your talent
Well, I want to thank you very much for making it a nice Calypso showcase.
Thank
and
you.
best of luck to you in 1998.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It was
We'll
good
go out with
fun.
your big song from
My
1998.
big song.
Jamming in the party.
Watch me. I don't have an explanation for this overnight sensation. This thrill running down my spine. I can feel adrenaline through my total body flowing, giving the urge to shake what is mine. Cause tonight, I really feeling the wine, wine, wine. Tonight, I really feeling to shake, come me behind. Tonight, I don't want you hold me. Tonight, I want to free my body. Let me jump and whine, bump and grind, shake my waist and mash on the place. Tonight, you and me, to a sweet soca melody. We'll be jam, 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 jamming in the party. We'll be jam, 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 jam.